Premier League Weekly Podcast. Each week we will be discussing recent and upcoming football games. Hello, you are listening to the Premier League Weekly Podcast with your host, Luke Curtis. This week we have Owen joining us on the show. You alright, Owen? How you doing, mate?
You about yourself?
Yeah, I'm good, cheers, mate.
Good.
Coming up, did Tottenham push hard enough against Everton? Newcastle's new signing Callum Wilson scored the first goal for the Magpies. Both Liverpool and Leeds struggled with their defensive display, and Chelsea put 3 past Brighton. Right, as you're a Chelsea fan, Owen, do you want to start with Chelsea?
Yeah, can do, yeah.
3 goals against Brighton. Personally, I think Brighton are pretty poor, as usual. What's your take on that?
I don't know, I felt like Brighton played well first half. I felt like they deserved better than what they actually had. But no, don't get me wrong. Chelsea did play, and there was a couple of sitters, like Reece James. His goal was a bit of a blinder. But no, I think Brighton deserved better, personally.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think he's just being modest myself.
No.
But Lewis Dunk obviously missed a bit of a sitter.
Yeah, he definitely should have scored that. That should have been a goal.
Should have, yeah. I think
definitely.
I think like Harry Redknapp once said, my nan could have scored that.
Yeah.
Your goalkeeper, where do we start with him?
Yeah, I know you've had a lot of talk over with the press and Lampard's speech, but I don't know. He's all right. I think we deserve better considering we're top 5 team, but I think he's been getting a lot of stick, but I understand why. He's been getting it. Yeah,
I think he's been pretty poor.
Yeah, I think he's got a lot of expectations to fill considering past goalkeepers.
Yeah, I don't think so myself. But I think Brighton. I thought Brighton the last few years have been punching in the Premier League. They probably should have gone down last year and maybe the year before. So. They're probably going to go down this year. If they stay up, they'll be very, very lucky.
It wouldn't surprise me. Yeah.
So, who do you want to talk about next?
I think we should talk about the Liverpool Leeds game, considering that was a bit of a decent game. Yeah, it was a good game, personally.
Yeah. All right. Do you think it was a handball against Koch?
I don't know. I can see why people think it's a handball, but. My opinion, no, I don't think it was. I don't think it was a handball.
I don't think so. I know they say by the letter of the law it is a handball because I think they've changed the rules now where used to if it hit your hand, hit part of your body, then hit your arm, it's not a handball. Whereas now his arm was out a little bit, but I thought that was extremely harsh.
Yeah, it wasn't intentional.
It was very harsh.
It wasn't intentional.
But it was given, so not a lot you can do about it. I thought Leeds played really well in that.
Yeah, considering their first game against the reigning champions in the Prem.
Yeah, most people would have thought that they'd have been a bit nervous. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A bit bodily because they're playing Liverpool away. I know it'd have been better. Probably would have been a tougher game if there was fans there.
Yeah.
But no, I thought Leeds gave a good account for themselves. And
I'm glad Leeds.
Great goals as well.
No.
That Harrison goal. Absolutely quality. Probably the best goal of the game. I think it was better than Klick's goal at the end. That was a great touch.
I did like Klick's goal. It was a good goal. Yeah. Nice touch and then bang. I liked it. Yeah, and I'm glad Leeds are up in the Prem now. They've done well in the Championship.
Yeah, they're a big team. They don't deserve to be in the Championship. They've always deserved to be in the Premier League.
Yeah, and they've been in there for a long time.
Yeah, they've just had
now their time.
With their troubles they've had years ago when they went down, but they should have come up a long time ago. But
I think they had a lot of pressure on them considering their first game in the Premier League. They were against Liverpool, who won the Prem last season. But no, I think they did well. I do believe they did well.
Yeah, I think they'll be alright this year, Leeds. They've got some good, decent young players. I think they'll be alright.
No, I think you're right, they will.
Right, so the Fulham Arsenal game. What do you think about that game?
It was alright.
Yeah, it was pretty boring, to be fair, first half. There weren't a lot going on, and then, apart from obviously there was a sloppy goal.
Yeah.
Scrappy defence by Fulham, and Lacazette just pounced, but that's just Fulham all over. Last season, Fulham had the worst defence out of the 3 teams that came up. they conceded 48 goals in 46 games last season. You can't do that. You can't be playing like that in the Prem and expect to stay up. They need to sort out their defence. And I like Scott Parker. I think he's a good young manager. I know what Fulham they're like. They're sort of, their owners won't be bothered about giving him the chop after a month or 2 months, because I know it's a results game, but you got to stick with some of these managers. Do you know what I mean? Yeah,
no, it's true. And the thing is, Arsenal they've done quite a lot of good signings for the transfers. Willian from us.
Well, earlier,
I can't believe they went for he went for free. Like,
breaking news earlier, Aubameyang signed a new contract.
I've seen that, and I rate Aubameyang. Like, he's good,
a top player. He is.
It wouldn't surprise me if he's going to be one of the top goal scorers this season.
Yeah, he was up there last year.
Yeah,
he only missed out by a goal or two, I think. Good signing for them to keep Aubameyang. I'd have been pretty worried for Arsenal. Otherwise, I still think they're not as good as they used to be. Arsenal, pretty mediocre team. They haven't got. Apart from Aubameyang, who else they got really? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. But no, they've got a few good now. Gabriel from Lille, he scored on Saturday. Good goal.
Yeah, really good goal. He looks good. Good defender. He does. There was a lot of teams that were after him, so I think they've done well to sign him.
Yeah.
Well, we'll move on to Sheffield United Wolves. 2 goals in the first 6 minutes.
Yes, I know.
Jimenez with a quality goal as usual.
He played well. Yeah, he did play well.
Surprised they've managed to keep him, because he is top player for me. I thought he would have gone. I thought a few of their players would have gone, if I'm honest with you. But
no, it was a good goal. I seen it when it crossed it in. He looked where it was going, and it was precision. Like, he knew exactly where it was going, and it was a good goal.
Yeah, their second goal was all right. Size.
Yeah.
It was all right. It was typical Wolves, really. They're a great team, Wolves. Since they've come up, they played really well, and I can see them this year not having any Europe. I think they'll do well this year. Not having any European competition. They can just focus on the league. I think they could push for top 4 this year, Wolves.
Yeah, no, definitely. Great header by Sice. I don't understand what the defenders were doing. We got one pushing into his back, put him off balance, and then easy goal, really. But where do you think they're both going to finish this season, considering they both did well last season?
Sheffield United, I think, peaked last season. I don't think they're going to have another season like it. I think they're probably good enough to stay up. They might, towards the end of the season, be fighting in the relegation battle, but I do think they'll have enough, probably about 15th, I think last 6 games, I think Sheffield United will be right. And Wolves, I think, like I said just now, I think maybe 4th or 5th. I think they could get Champions League.
I think Wolves top 10, maybe not that high considering some of the signings this season, but Sheffield United, I think they'll do all right. But I don't think they'll do as well as last season. I think, like you said, 15th. I think about 10th, 11th. I think that's where they'll come.
Right, we'll move on to the West Ham Newcastle game. Callum Wilson scored on his debut.
Yeah.
Great signing. 20 million quid.
I know.
What a steal that is. They also bought Jamal Lewis from Norwich. He's a good young player. That's another great signing for Newcastle there. I know there's a few teams after him. Liverpool were after him in the summer.
Yeah.
He's a good young player, he is.
Yeah, no, he definitely is up and coming. I think he'll do well this season.
They've got Jeff Hendricks on a free from Burnley. He scored. Bit of a belter as well.
Yeah.
Good goal, seeing it. There was no backlift on the foot. The power he got on that was decent.
Yeah.
And I know it's against West Ham. West Ham are poor at the minute. And I don't know, the thing is with West Ham, Declan Rice had a shocker. The amount of times he gave the ball away in that game. I didn't know whether he's playing for Newcastle or West Ham. He was absolutely poor that game. West Ham did hit the bar twice though. One of them was off a deflection, but they really weren't with the races today, I don't think. I think they've also, a bit like Brighton, they've been punching the last few years. Their owners, they need to just get rid of their owners. Their owners are absolutely just tearing that club to pieces. And
I think personally they're lucky to be staying up.
Who? West Ham?
West Ham, yeah.
Yeah, every season they're lucky to stay.
That's what I mean. Last few seasons,
I don't think it helps with their own. I know Newcastle, their fans don't like Mike Ashley, but at least he puts his hand in his pocket and he tries helping. Yeah. Whereas West Ham, they're not doing nothing to help the club, and they don't listen to the supporters.
They're scraping bottom. They've literally scraped just getting through. They should have been relegated a couple of seasons ago. And it's a shame, really, because West Ham have always been a good team. But no, I think personally they'll go down next season or this season. This season or next season, I think they'll go down.
I think this season.
Yeah.
They don't make any signings. They're gone. I think this season.
They'll definitely be lucky to stay up.
Right, we'll move on to the West Brom Leicester game. West Brom back in the top flight since the 2017-18 season where they finished bottom on 24 points.
I like West Brom. I like them.
They've got a good manager in Bilic.
Yeah.
They might need a few more signings. They've signed a few decent players, but they're not over big name or not big names that you've really heard of. Do you know what I mean? People like Mateus Pereira, David Button from Brighton, the young lad Diagingana maybe from West Ham. A lot of their players didn't want him to leave. He's a good young player. Yeah. He might be their saviour if it comes to it, but I think they're going to be fighting.
And I guess we'll only know from the upcoming season.
Yeah, so. you just got to wait and see. Really, that's what happens.
But no, it was a good game. Vardy was still on form. 2 goals.
Top goal scorer season,
top goal scorer last season.
Two penalties.
And that's the thing. I found this weekend there's been a lot of penalties. A hell of a lot of penalties.
Yeah. I think a lot of the players aren't up to fitness, and obviously with the quicker players, they're just getting in, or people just sloppy play, taking people out. Carl Bartley took out Vardy for the first penalty. Yeah. He just got the wrong side. Vardy's pace just absolutely creamed him. He had no chance of catching him. Clear penalty.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you know what I mean? So I think Leicester, they were unlucky last year. They sort of bottled it towards the end of the season where they were Champions League places for pretty much the whole season. And then after lockdown and we went back into the games that we had left, they just couldn't buy a win, really. And they dropped out and ended up 5th and getting Europa League. Yeah. So whether that helps them this year getting Europa League, I don't know. It wasn't a great game, to be fair. I don't think. And I think Leicester looks pretty comfortable, and they ran out deserved winners. I think. And
I think everyone always has in their head like Leicester. They're always going to be that team that the underdogs. No one ever expected them to win that. They won that season.
Funny, but that's just a one-off. You'll never see anything like that.
I don't know. I believe personally that Leicester could do it again. But
they've only
it's
made
hard when you've got teams like Liverpool winning it last season, Man City.
They've only made one signing though, Leicester. Yeah. They brought that right back from Atlanta, Castanenge.
Yeah.
He scored.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Alright goal, but they sold Ben Chilwell.
Yeah.
I think they've replaced him. They've got some good players. Harvey Barnes is great.
Harvey Barnes. I was going to say Harvey Barnes.
Quality.
He was playing well on Sunday.
If they can get a few of their players back from injury, I think they'd be right. They're going to be up there anyway. European places easy. They've got good enough squad to be up there for the European places.
Yeah.
Right, we'll move on to the Spurs-Everton game. I see a stat before the game. Spurs hadn't lost to Everton since the 9th of December 2012. 15 games unbeaten against Everton.
Wow.
So I think a lot of Spurs fans were going into that thinking, here we go again.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And they just didn't turn up. First half, Dele Alli ran his nuts off in that game. Ain't gonna lie. And then when they come out in the second half and they've been subbed, I didn't understand why he got subbed.
Yeah.
Jose Mourinho said laziness, but I don't know if he was watching the same player I was watching. He was probably the Spurs' best player in that game, and that's saying a lot because a lot of their players were pretty poor.
He's young, but my personal opinion, I don't know. He's not a bad player, but I don't personally rate him.
That's because you support Chelsea, mate.
That's most probably why.
Yeah. Calvert-Lewin ran that Spurs defence ragged. If I was one of the top teams in the league calling out for a striker, I'd go for Calvert-Lewin because he's young, he's hungry. Every game he plays, you get at least a 7 out of 10 from him. He scores goals. Do you know what I mean? Great player. I really like Calvert-Lewin. I hope he can get a call up to England soon because I think he's decent.
I just don't understand what's going on with Spurs. Last season, a few seasons before,
I don't.
They were up there, but
yeah, it was.
They seem a bit slacking.
Before the Champions League final, up until the Christmas, they played well that year, and then they went on a bad run up to the Champions League final. They lost Liverpool in the Champions League final 2-0. They didn't really turn up for that game, and I don't know whether people say it's the knock-on effect. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Of losing the Champions League final, and that's where it came on. And then obviously the last season they had Pochettino till November, ended up 14th. Pochettino gets sacked.
Yeah.
They're bringing Mourinho, thinking that he wins trophies everywhere he goes, still not working. I don't know whether...
I definitely think it's affected him.
I think
Definitely.
so. I don't know whether Mourinho can get it out of the players. That's down to Mourinho to be able to do that. But I don't know what is going on with Spurs at the moment. There's something not right there.
Yeah.
I read something the other day about Paul Merson saying that he doesn't know why Man City or Man United, who need a striker, haven't come in and bought Harry Kane. And the reason for that is no one's got the money at the minute.
Yeah.
If the coronavirus hadn't happened, someone probably would have. But Daniel Levy, the chairman of Tottenham, ain't going to accept anything less than 200 million for him.
Yeah.
No one can afford 200 million with the coronavirus. They made some decent signings this summer as well. They got Decore from Watford.
Yeah. James Rodriguez from Real Madrid.
Yeah, they got Alan from Napoli.
Yeah. The
first game in the Prem. Normally
he played well.
It takes players time to bed in. He was running the show, mate. I think Everton. Everyone thinks Everton's going to do all right when the season starts. They normally do look all right, and then something happens. I don't know what happens to Everton, and they always finish mid-table. But you can look at them this year and think, I think they might be all right this year.
I liked Everton as well. A few seasons ago, when there's Lukaku, they played well. They were always in the top. They were nearly always top 5, and then after that, they haven't really been doing much. But no, I hope Everton get up there again.
Well,
I hope.
We'll see. Right, we'll move on to the Palace-Southampton game. First goal, great play by Andros Townsend.
Yeah.
Great, ping that ball in.
Yeah, it was.
Zaha volley, great goal that was.
It was a blinder.
I find Zaha, obviously, he carries Palace a lot of the time every season.
He does.
To be fair, I'm surprised he's still at Palace.
Palace were down there last season as well.
Palace, they're all right. They're a bit hit and miss, but players like Zaha for Palace, Danny Ings for Southampton, how they haven't been bought this season?
Yeah, I was going to say.
I really rate that. Danny Ings.
I'm surprised they're still there. Yeah.
If he can stay injury-free, Danny Ings, it will score you easily at least 15 goals a season. Maybe he was only 1 or 2 behind Jamie Vardy for the Golden Boot last year, which goes to show you how good Danny Ings is being without his injuries and that. Redmond probably should have scored. There was a bit where it was a great build-up play by the team. Redmond blazed it over. Probably should have scored. Made it 1-1, but that happens. Carl Walker-Peters shown a red card, which then got overturned by VAR to a yellow card. What did you think of that?
Personally, I don't like this VAR. I get why they're doing it, but it just takes so much time out of the game. I see why they do it, but I don't know. I'm not a fan of it. It's just not football anymore, is it? It's just too many officials.
I understand for certain decisions they should have it. Red cards, maybe, because obviously if someone gets sent off and it's not, like what happened with Carl Walker-Peters, that to me weren't a red card. Do you know what I mean? It was a yellow card and it happened. The only things I don't like about VAR is it just spoils the game. When players score, they want to run off and celebrate, go mental, do you know what I mean?
And they can't do that.
They can't, because sometimes it can take 3 minutes for the ref to go, right, it was a goal.
That's what I mean, it's not football anymore.
No, it's not a goal. That to me
takes the fun out of it,
It does, and that I just don't like that about VAR, but I think we're going to be stuck with it, really. Everyone was calling for it, and now it's here, everyone wants it away.
I think they did right with dismissing the red card and giving him a yellow. I think that was the right decision.
Right, so upcoming games this weekend. We'll start off with the 12:30 kickoff on Saturday. Everton against West Brom. Predictions, please, Owen.
I think Everton have got that. They're home. They played all right. I reckon 2-1 Everton.
Yeah? I'm going to go 2-2. Okay. Go for a Desmond there. Right, Leeds Fulham, 3 p.m.
Leeds. Just from what Fulham played last game, how Leeds play, I reckon even maybe a 4-1 Leeds.
4-1 Leeds?
Yeah.
Jesus.
I hope they do it as well.
Right, I'm going to go for a Leeds 2-1. I think it'll be quite tight game. What about United against Palace, 5:30? Bearing in mind this is United's first game of the season because they didn't play last weekend.
Don't know. I reckon... Man U love that. I reckon 2-0.
2-0?
2-0, yeah.
I'm going to go for a 3-0 win for the 5:30 kickoff. Arsenal West Ham 8 o'clock. A nice London derby for you there. What do you predict on that
I reckon the Gunners have got it. I reckon maybe a 3-1, 3-2.
I can see that being a comfortable Arsenal win. I see that being 3-0, if not 4. Right, we'll move on to the Sunday early kick-off, 12 o'clock. Southampton against Tottenham.
Oh, Tottenham are away, so... No, I think Tottenham still will have it. I reckon 2-1. 2-1 Tottenham, yeah.
I'm going to agree with you now. I think Tottenham will scrape it 2-1 against Southampton.
Yeah.
The 2 p.m. at St James's Park, Newcastle v Brighton.
Ooh. Newcastle. I reckon 2-0.
Yeah, I think they'll concede Newcastle. They do like to concede every now and again, especially against lower opposition like Brighton. I can see that being 2-1 to Newcastle. And then you've got the big game of the day. 4:30, Chelsea Liverpool at the Bridge.
I know. It's been a really good game. I'm excited for it, but I think I don't know. I would like to say Chelsea considering we're home, but just considering how we played against Brighton the other day, how Liverpool played, I think Liverpool would do it personally. I wouldn't like to say it, but I think Liverpool got it. I reckon maybe, I don't maybe much, but I reckon maybe like 2-1, 3-1, like that.
I think it'll be a high scoring game, but with Chelsea's new signings,
that's
people like Timo Werner, Havertz, I think that's how you pronounce it. I think Chelsea are going to be better than they was last year against Liverpool. I can see that being a Chelsea win.
Yeah,
I think Chelsea will win that 3-2.
Yeah, and it's hard to tell because we've still got new signings.
Next game, 7 o'clock, Leicester Burnley at the King Power. What's your prediction?
Leicester. Leicester have got that. Maybe 2-1 again.
2-1.
2-1, 3-2.
Like a 2-1.
Yeah, I think it. 2-1, 3-2. I'm not good with predictions.
No, you think they're all close, didn't
you?
Yeah. Right, well, Leicester. I think Burnley's first game of the season as well. I think Leicester will run out on this one again. Jamie Vardy was just his pace is just pretty crazy especially for his age as well. I think that's a 3-1 Leicester win. We'll move on to Monday, 6 o'clock. Aston Villa against Sheffield United.
Ooh, I reckon it could be a draw, 1-0, 2-0.
Yeah,
about that.
Okay, I would. Yeah, I'm going to go for a 2-1 Villa. I think on that. Yeah. And the last game of the week, Monday, 8:15. Wolverhampton Wanderers against Manchester City at the Molineux.
City. Wolves are playing well, but City are just another league, aren't they? City, I reckon about that. 3-2, 4-3. I think it'll be a good game. Not as good as the Liverpool-Chelsea game, but...
bets on these, mate.
I know.
Raking it in
on the Super 6.
Nice, mate. I'm going to go for... I think... As much as I'd like Wolves to do well, I think City have probably just got the players and the squad to be able to do it. I'm going to say either 3-1 or 3-2 Man City that game.
Yeah, they've got the backing.
Right, Owen, I'm going to I want some quick questions back here.
Yeah.
Don't want no life stories from you because you've dragged this pod out long enough now.
Go on, fire away.
Who is going to be the first manager to be sacked, do you think?
Mourinho,
yeah.
Wow. Get rid of him.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Alright. I am probably going to go for David Moyes at West Ham.
Yeah.
Okay, next. Who's going to be top goal scorer this season?
Ooh.
Come on, mate.
Salah.
You're on the clock here.
Salah.
Yeah?
He's on fire, yeah.
Alright, I will probably go for Harry Kane. I think he'll have a good year this year, Harry Kane. As much as Tottenham aren't playing well. Who are the 3 teams to be relegated?
Oh, West Ham, Brighton, Palace.
Right, I'm going to go for West Ham, Brighton, and Fulham.
That's a good shout.
Yeah. Well, that's it for this week. Thank you for listening to this week's podcast. Big thank you to Owen for joining me this week.
Thank you for having me.
Good lad. We'll be back next Thursday with a new guest, new matches, and a whole lot of football talk. If you never want to miss another episode, click subscribe now. It is totally free and will not have to search for the channel once subscribed. All other social media sites can be found underneath as well. See you next week.